Welcome to Top 10 in 10, the official podcast of Site Midwest, where we ask 10 questions in just 10 minutes to the brightest minds in the incentive travel industry. From emerging trends and expert strategies to bold ideas that move the industry forward, we're covering it all, one guest at a time. Fast, insightful, and always relevant. This is Top 10 in 10. Let's dive in.
All right. Hello, everybody. Hi, Joanna.
Hi, Katie. How are you today?
I'm doing so well. We're so excited to be back on the podcast together, and
for sure.
Really appreciate everyone's recent great feedback we've heard. We really appreciate all of you guys engaging and reaching out, and excited to keep sharing different destinations with you.
Yeah, we had such great feedback, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about Curacao, where we just had our Site Midwest Forum, and it was absolutely amazing.
Yes.
So just thank you to all who were there, and it was just a great time to build those relationships and meet some very, very special people and spend some time together
in the sun.
In the sun and the sand, and we just want to share the experience that we had.
Absolutely,
with everybody.
We do.
Just because Curacao is just a very special place.
It is a very special place, and we both felt after experiencing the culture and seeing some of the properties and getting to walk around the island, it's really a great spot for incentive travel.
Most
and
definitely.
I think it maybe flies a little bit under the radar, so it's a very exotic option for someone who maybe has done a lot of the same destinations over and over again, and who are interested in something maybe different, but still accessible, still safe. There's good logistics to get there, good properties, all that kind of stuff.
All the great food, all the wonderful things. So what we're going to do today, just like we did on our first podcast, will be basically our top 10. And we're just going to go through that top 10 and share that with you all. And hopefully you'll be visiting Curacao and enjoying it like we did.
Absolutely.
So good.
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to dive in.
We're going to dive in. So I think really the first thing we wanted to talk about is the blend in the cultures in Curacao. It's really a blend of a European and Caribbean culture.
Yes, it is.
They speak 4 languages,
which is wild.
Which is wild. I mean, and it's not even like a question in terms of people stumbling.
Right. No, they just move smoothly through it all.
Which I found that absolutely amazing.
I did too.
So
it's got because it has the Dutch history as a part of it, and it's situated in the Caribbean, and it's kind of close to South America. You see that come through in the art, in the food, in the music, and the people. So I think that's one of the really cool, unique things about it that you don't get in a lot of other destinations. I just really enjoyed experiencing that and hearing a little bit about the history of the island and how it still comes through in today's world.
And one of the things that I found really neat, Katie, was when we were walking down the streets in downtown Curacao, the fruit and vegetable stand.
That was one of my favorite things to see too.
Oh my gosh, that really, to me, that really showed some of that blend, because I was like, wow, people really come into the island
from Venezuela,
and they bring it to the island, and then you're like, okay, this is a starting of some of that blend, right?
Yes.
And then just some of the other activities that we did, which we'll dive into, but it just just the music and the food. I mean, whenever you look at any kind of menu, there is such a neat blend.
Yes.
So
absolutely. And something you probably can't get that unique type of blend in all cultural ways in other places.
It was really, really special.
It was. And so to that point too, the authentic experiences too offered because of that blend of culture. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site they have there on the island. There's a lot of great, beautiful architecture, which we're going to talk a little bit later too about the colors. And so it really offers all sorts of cultural experiences to help you feel really immersed and like you're experiencing something authentic.
Exactly. It's definitely an authentic experience.
It
for
is.
Sure.
And people were so warm and welcoming.
I know.
I loved meeting every person I met there.
Exactly. I mean, even when we left, they were singing a song.
They were. Yes, they were. And the nice thing too was because it is a smaller island, you're at your property, but then you leave your property. It's a quick little transfer down to the heart of the island. And so to be able to be on the property, experience the luxury and the relaxation, but then still feel like you're getting to see something culturally different
Culturally
than where you're
different.
from, I thought was a really nice
Really
blend
nice.
of the two things.
Exactly. Really, really neat. Well, that was pretty much our 1 and 2.
That was 1 and 2.
Kind of
Yes,
combined.
kind of combined.
Yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about the fusion of the cuisine.
Yes.
Oh
the food
my
was
gosh.
so phenomenal. One of the nights during our forum, we went into the city and we had a wonderful dinner at Caleo with music and dancers and musicians.
So good.
It was a phenomenal night and the food was so well done.
Yes.
And you're right in the heart of a little plaza, so it was really beautiful.
Yeah.
And the Caribbean food mixed with the kind of the Dutch, again, that Dutch heritage that's still very present in the island with a little bit of a Latin flair. The food was
so good.
And at the resort too.
Yeah.
We were at the resort there and the food was really good there. Again, even though it is a big resort, the flair of the local community did come through as well. So that was
most definitely
delicious.
I think every single meal while being there, it was just so good. I think I left there feeling full.
Yeah.
Like
absolutely.
Yes, exactly. So, but it truly was so good.
It was.
So,
So you can trust that if you're going to take a group there, whether you're on property or off property, you go into the town, there's just so many good dining options and great dining options with big space for groups too.
Correct.
So that was, even though it is a smaller island, maybe there's not as many restaurants as some of the other tropical destinations, the options for having a big group space, there's definitely options there and you're not just stuck with one. You can choose from many.
So whether you're looking at, if you're planning your group for a dine arounds, for your incentive group, or if you just wanted to do that signature group experience and where you're bringing everybody together for a really cool thing and you're offering that music and just that live entertainment in general, I think, because like we had a little parade and we had all kinds of cool stuff, which was so much fun. So, however you're looking to build out that signature group experience, there are those opportunities to do that in Curacao.
Absolutely.
So the world really, in Curacao, it's your oyster.
It is
so much.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So much fun. But so that moves us into colors.
It was so colorful.
Yes.
We did this wonderful walking tour. And they broke us up into smaller groups. We had great local tour guides who showed us all around the main part of the city. And they do this phenomenal art event every year where they pick a different corner of the city. They completely revitalize it with murals and they hold an art festival. And so it is incredibly colorful.
Yes.
The art is still there and it's living, breathing art because it's in people's homes, on people's homes.
Exactly.
And they're living right next to this beautiful mural. And so it's really brought a lot of life to the downtown area.
Definitely.
And go ahead.
I was just going to say, and the people who live in the downtown area, they really can paint their homes any color they want.
They can. And they take such pride
in it.
Yeah.
So you'll see pinks and yellows and blues and greens and it's just so pretty.
It is.
Oh my gosh.
It is.
So
if you're a photographer or maybe you're catering to some clients who are photographers, it's a phenomenal photography opportunity with some really unique things. And just hearing the story too of how they came up with all of it that's a really unique, again, back to that authentic experience. You're wanting to take groups off site and do a little bit of like local immersion, doing a little walking tour. There's good shops, good things to see, get a little cold drink. And
speaking to your photography idea too, just bringing it up as another activity option is if you do want to offer a photography experience.
Like a little scavenger hunt
or maybe even contracting a local photographer to kind of take you through and show you how to photograph these amazing colorful buildings and everything like that, which is kind of a really cool experience too. So just because of the colors, it really offers a lot of experiences that you can incorporate into your incentive program.
Absolutely.
So just, oh my gosh, it just, I don't know you, but
I miss it already.
I'm talking about it. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I know. We're reminiscing on all of our experiences and I'm like, I'm ready to go back.
I'm like, just put me on that plane.
So exactly.
It's just absolutely beautiful.
But
so one thing as we talk about going back, right, is there are so many wonderful places to stay.
Absolutely. And our particular event was hosted by Sandals at the Sandals there. It's a newer property and they just did a phenomenal job. It's situated on a nice little canal channel channel out into the ocean. So you've got some ocean view, but then you do have some quieter
Correct.
waterway, which is really nice.
Mhm.
And it's nice, spacious, very tropical
Yep.
feeling. There's definitely options to have your group in one little area so that it feels maybe like you're not overtaking the resort, or the guests aren't kind of overtaking your event. And so the ballroom space, the
Mhm.
meeting spaces, there's definitely options there depending if you have a big group or a small group. We kind of had a medium-sized group.
Exactly.
And we fit very well into all the different spaces, lots of different restaurant options. The staff there was incredible.
Incredible. Yeah. Yeah. You definitely get your private check-in, and you can have your private
Mhm.
departure, which is absolutely wonderful. And then, if you want to have a welcome reception, that can easily be set
Mhm.
off to the side. And also there's just so many experiences offered through the property as well. So you can really work with the property to
Yes.
be able to do some of those experiences, of course, or work with your local DMC as well.
Right.
So you really get a lot of opportunity to build out your program as however you
Yes.
want to build it out. But Sandals did a great job.
They did.
Hosting
Yes.
us.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was truly just a beautiful experience.
Mhm.
And I also want to call out again, I know we talked a lot about food, but food it's important.
It's a huge part. Everyone loves good food.
Exactly. It's important.
And yeah, everyone loves a good meal.
Yeah, exactly. And I have to say, all of the dining options on the property were
Was
amazing.
really, really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they did
absolutely.
great job.
They
So.
had a wonderful, one of my favorite spots every morning was to go get a little coffee and a croissant.
Yes.
Because again, going back to that Dutch heritage, they do their pastries very well.
Oh, they do.
They really take pride in that. And so they had
Yeah.
this wonderful little coffee shop. They had a pastry counter, and they did crepes, and they had charcuterie.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
so most of my mornings I went and grabbed like a little croissant and a coffee while I walked to what I needed to do.
Oh, it was so wonderful.
Yeah. And then of course we did dine arounds as groups. So that was another nice thing, because there are so many different dining options. Again, depending on how big or small your group size is, you can do great dine arounds right at the property. And of course, being all inclusive, that really helps with the price point and the cost of everything.
Exactly.
So
exactly. And the restaurants on property were big enough to we had a lot of people there.
We did.
And we still were able to just do a really nice dine around. So it's perfect.
Yeah,
It's
it
perfect.
was.
Yeah.
It was.
So, well, great. Well, with all of that said, we're talking about luxury resorts, and we're talking about how great these properties are. But what we do want to talk about is, in general, the beaches.
It was stunning there.
Absolutely
Yes.
stunning.
Over 30 some different beaches. So
exactly.
something for everyone,
Yeah.
all different types of beaches too.
Exactly. And it's a very small island. So pretty much wherever you go, there's a beach.
Yeah. And you
So-
can get around very easily. The infrastructure there was good. The roads were good. And so that is nice too. You can have a driver, you can have a bus if you need to. You can do any sort of transportation option. Again, the local DMC there, they do a great job. And so they helped to do all of our transportation.
Exactly.
So that's something that is easily facilitated if you've got a big group and you need a big bus, or you need vans, everyone can get around okay.
You can get around okay. So it's great. So whether you want to go to the beaches, you want to watch the sunset, if you want to just bring your group out and
beachside activities.
Exactly. But
Speaking of beachside activities, water sports there offered on the different properties or via just like a DMC or arranging that yourselves. There's lots of different water opportunities. Good sailing, really good scuba diving. We had a number of people within our group be able to do scuba diving and snorkeling.
Yeah.
So some great reefs there, great fish, great. I think people saw turtles. I think they saw all sorts of colorful fish.
Exactly.
And so again, you can, but then just take out a kayak or, do a little catamaran activity.
Exactly.
So again, being a beach destination, it does offer a lot of that.
Yeah. So all those traditional ones that you definitely, with most incentive programs, like to definitely have for your attendees are there. So it's great.
And there's not just water, but like we talked about, you can do a
land.
walking tour. There's lots
E-bike.
of different e-bikes. There's a lot of history there. It's the oldest synagogue on the Western Hemisphere is on Curacao, which is kind of a surprising fact. Never would have thought that would be there.
Exactly.
There's a lot of really cool history there with the parliament, the government that's there, the buildings, the fort that used to be there. So you've got stuff for history buffs. You've got stuff for adventure seekers.
Yeah.
There's some nice wellness, yoga, spa spas.
Exactly.
So really, again, when you're bringing a big group for an incentive, you can tailor to everyone's needs.
Everyone's needs.
Mhm.
Exactly. It's just a beautiful location to go to. And
It
it's you
is.
can, and no matter too, like kind of back to the luxury resorts mixed with the activities,
Mhm.
because it's such a small island.
Mhm. You
It's
don't have a 3-hour
a trip.
transfer.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Like your transfers are less than 30 minutes,
Yes.
no matter where you're staying.
Yes,
So,
in a nice air-conditioned bus, have a bottle of water.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it works perfectly.
It
So,
does.
yeah. So well, great.
And the other fun fact we learned
Mhm.
was that Curacao actually sits just outside the hurricane belt.
Yes. Yes.
So from a logistical planning
Mhm.
mindset, it's very handy and that you don't really need to worry about hurricane
Right.
season. They've
Right.
got 300 plus days of sunshine. I think it did sprinkle
Mhm.
in the evenings.
Yes.
After like kind of we were all back in our rooms. It was
rooms.
overnight sprinkles or
Mhm.
early morning sprinkles.
Right.
Because it is tropical, so you do get some rain and keep all that lush flora
Exactly.
green.
Looking green, and
Yes.
it's beautiful as it is, but that's about all you get. So it's just outside that you can what our point is, you can basically plan
Any time of year.
any time of year. And that's a really nice thing, because I know at other parts of the Caribbean, you have to be careful at
Mhm.
certain times
You
of the
do.
year. So
Yeah. Or there's stress in taking a group.
knowing that you're planning, but you
Right.
don't know what's going to happen.
You gotta have backup plans or, you
Yeah.
know, plans to get people out of their
hurricane. Exactly. In Curacao, you just kind of, have that feeling of just knowing that you're going to be okay.
And the weather will be good.
Nice. Exactly. So just a logistical important point.
Yes.
So
Our brains go there.
that's right. They go there. And I think, actually, believe it or not, we're already to our 10th point.
We are. We just flew right through those points.
And actually, this is much more of a practical. We do like to offer that practical piece to it. And this, for this particular destination, we want to emphasize the safeness of Curacao. It is a very safe, stable destination.
It is.
I mean, when we were out and about, I never worried about a thing.
No, not at all. Absolutely. I felt so safe. It was very welcoming. And again, the connectivity is there. They've got direct flights from Miami multiple times a day.
Yeah.
But then, as we learned after the fact, kind of towards the end of our program they're actively working to get more flights.
Yes.
And so that was something that the CVB was really excited to share with us, and the DMCs were talking about that they're working together to actively get more connectivity, more flights all year round. So again, they're really invested in bringing in the local. Bringing in options, and connecting us so that we can use
get
the
down there.
destination.
Exactly. And it was a very comfortable flight. Like, I mean,
yeah, it was so easy from Miami.
Yes, exactly. It's really a quick flight.
It is. Over the water. The flight was so beautiful over the water, looking down over the little islands and the ocean, and
it was so pretty.
And everyone's going there to go on a vacation, so everyone's so happy on the plane. So it's sad leaving, but it was good to get there.
I know, it truly was wonderful though.
It was.
So and I mentioned earlier in the podcast when we left, they were singing, and it wasn't even just a
special. They just did it.
They just did it.
Yes.
And they don't say it's kind of like a goodbye type thing. It's a see you soon, because they
Absolutely.
know
Yes.
that everybody's going to be coming back.
You fall in love with it, and you keep wanting to go back.
You want to keep exactly.
Yeah.
So it was really special. So
that pretty much wraps up all of our key points
Yeah.
around Curacao. Just such a beautiful cultural place.
Yeah.
Great options for groups, small, big, beautiful properties, great dining, great colors.
Yeah.
And so we're excited to share all of this information, and hopefully you'll check it out for yourself. And
Exactly.
check out the colors of Curacao.
Check out the colors of Curacao. And check out our next podcast after this one. So we're going to have many coming up in the future, and so keep checking us out. And as Katie and I say, cheers to a great adventure.
Absolutely.
So we just
cheers, Johanna.
Cheers, Katie. So we'll talk to you soon, and thank you so much for listening to us, and we look forward to sharing everything in the future.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
Have a great day, everybody. Bye.